Shabbat Shalom. That's Max Sullivan. That's Bar Mitzvah.
That's my favorite. My mic's still on.
Okay. Mine too. Oh, but I'm using that one. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lie.
Because you have your mashup.
It's a new room.
Yeah, totally. It can go as long as we need to. It's like a test. It's like who are the ones who come in and sit down, who are the ones who stand at the door, and then who are the ones who are all the way over there. Like it's cool. Love cheese.
Okay, what time you got now? Let's see.
Like 1 minute. I try. I'm not usually right.
When I am. Okay, I say it's a go. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la la
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Ma yafeh hayom. How beautiful this day is. Our tradition gives us the gift of Shabbat every week. It's this moment where even God has to rest, and we, being like God, have to rest as well. So I want to invite us all into this space, whether we're here sitting in the seats or out there watching on the internet, and just invite you to bring in Shabbat, this beautiful gift, this way that we come together in community, and this way that we explore whatever it is our connection is to God or to something bigger than ourselves. So we're going to continue our service in your service sheet with Lechu Neranena, praising this beautiful day.
Lechu Neranena. Letzur Hishenu, lai 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 lai. Let's sing that again. Lechu Neranena, yai lai lai, Adonai, yai lai lai, Nahariya, lai lai. Letzur Hishenu, lai lai lai. Let us sing unto God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. Lechu Neranena. Adonai, lai lai lai, Nahariya, lai lai lai, Letzur Hishenu, lai lai lai. For all of the wonders and all of God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechu Neranena, lai 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 lai, Adonai, lai lai lai, Nahariya. Letzur Hishenu, lai lai lai. Lechu Neranena, lai 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 lai. Adonai, lai 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 lai. Nahariya. Letzur Hishenu, lai 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 lai.
We continue with the lighting of our Shabbat candles on pages 2 and 3. I'd like to invite up let me hope I get this title right, our new Director of Congregational Learning and Engagement. Was that right? I think that was right. Gonen Arad. We're very excited he's here. He just joined us this week, and he's really looking forward to meeting all of you. So please give him your warmest welcome. If you want to read one of those, and then, yeah.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, be our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness remind us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher hitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
We continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20, welcoming Shabbat as we would a beloved.
Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai v'nei Shabbat nikabelai. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai v'nei Shabbat nikabelai. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmiyanu hamiyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad Shemu tiferet velitchila Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai v'nei Shabbat nikabelai. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai v'nei Shabbat nikabelai. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habraka merosh mikedem nesucha סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai v'nei Shabbat nikabelai. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Itoreri, kiva orech kum yori, uri, shir daberi, kivot Adonai aleich nikla, lecha dodi likakala, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Echadudi likakala, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha uv'tzola, toch emunei am sigula. Boi chala, lechadod likrakal, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Lechadod likrakal, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah.
Please be seated. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. Page 26.
Yitkadash mei Rabbi. Bi'amadi v'rachirutei v'yamlich machutei b'chai echon uv'yom mechon uv'chai hedecho beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam ulam le'omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalal shmei kudsha Brichulei lamin kobrachata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran me'ama v'imeru. Amen.
We rise in body or spirit for Baruch on page 28.
Sing that nigun with me. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Together, don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dimartam b'shivtecha, b'beitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbecha, uv'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, Uchtavtam amezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem keroshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 41. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא מלכותך ובניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו יאמרו, זה אלינו יאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא
Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Together, Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, Hapore Sukkot Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
We're in the middle of page 45. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day, and eternity utters a day. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. The thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day. We're going to turn to page 46, and let's rise as we begin our tefillah. Adonai, Svatai, Svatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, Svatai, Svatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, Svatai, Svatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Rekonei HaKol, V'zocher chastei Havot ve'imahot, U'mevik ula livnei v'neihem, Le'man Shema be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atarav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umchaya, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'neman atala hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehallelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. Top of page 53. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, "How filled with awe is this place?" And we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Utfilatam ve'avatika Utfilatam ve'avatika Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Utehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha. Utehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Baruch Adonai she'ortecha levadcha yiranavot.
We continue with a moment of our own personal prayer and reflection, using the words on the page in your book or the words in your own hearts and minds.
acceptable unto you, O Lord. You lerotzon, imrifi vehekion, libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali.
I hate being late. My husband and I have a saying: early is on time is late, and late is unthinkable. I consider it a character trait to be punctual and adhere to time commitments. I know, though, that everyone relates to time differently, and many do not hold themselves to the same standards. In college, my friends even gave me a hard time because I was always standing there early, waiting for them to finally show up. Some of you know what I'm talking about. One of these friends recently mentioned me on Facebook in relation to an article that explained why late people are late. Story of my life, she said. People who get really annoyed at chronically late people should read this and learn about me and my insanity. She then named me along with a couple other notoriously punctual people, saying, "I'm looking at you." I personally was flabbergasted by this article, which scientifically validated certain people's trends of tardiness. And I was even more flabbergasted by the responses to my friend, a string of justifications for being late, including saying that being on time is a form of ADHD, and that time is a construct that has been employed for a relatively short period. I thought to myself, what's going on here? Is my generation so unwilling to take responsibility for ourselves that we're blaming the very notion of time for the fact that we're unable to meet someone when we say we're going to? I make it a habit not to engage in deep conversations on Facebook, but what I wanted to say was, I wish I had $1 for every minute I had to wait for someone who was late. My student loans would be significantly smaller. I, too, have been a victim of traffic, weather, procrastination, and many other factors that make people late. We humans make errors, we miss appointments, and we mess things up. It's natural. But we need to take responsibility for our actions. Sometimes external issues prevent us from doing what we say we will do. Many times, the onus is on us. Whether we consciously decide that something else is more important, or we make an honest mistake. In this age of instant communication, not following through is easy. You can just send a quick text or email saying you're running late, or your schedule has changed, or you're not feeling well, and suddenly, with a few keystrokes, both your plans and the plans of your compatriot have changed. It's a simple way to let someone know you can't do something that was previously agreed upon. But is it always the right thing to do? This idea of being accountable for our actions goes way back to this week's Torah portion, Matot Maseh. In Numbers chapter 30, verse 3, Moses speaks to the leaders of the Israelite tribes. He says, "Ish ki dor neder ladonai," if a person makes a vow to God, or hashava shvua lasor ishar al nafsho, or takes an oath imposing an obligation on himself, lo yachel devaro kechol hayotze mipiv yaaseh. He will not break his pledge. He must carry out all that has crossed his lips. Must carry out all that has crossed our lips. This verse reminds us that what we communicate to others and how we follow through on that communication is important. Even in an era in which our words travel instantaneously from screen to screen in the blink of an eye, those words matter. Our obligations should mean something. Moses speaks these words to the leaders of the Israelites because they need to model this accountable behavior for everyone. And while our own leaders may sometimes seem full of false promises, we need to be models for the people in our lives who are relying on us to fulfill our oaths. And it is up to us to hold those we love accountable for their actions too. However, it is not enough to just say whatever we think people want to hear, merely in order to carry out our end of the bargain. Midrash Trumot, a rabbinic commentary, states that what one says must correspond with what one means. Word remains void until mouth and heart agree. Even centuries ago, our sages urged us to be genuine, to make sure that our words aligned with our intentions. And this concept has no limits or restrictions. Our mouths should say what our hearts mean to everyone in all situations, from the smallest promise to the greatest oath. Why does this matter? Why do our mouths and hearts have to align when we can just give someone a quick call or shoot people emails to change our minds? Dr. Margaret Paul, a best-selling author and relationship expert, wrote an article in the Huffington Post entitled 5 Reasons to Do What You Say You Will Do. The first reason is integrity. You want to feel good about yourself and follow through. The second is trust and reliability, as deeply connected relationships thrive on these characteristics. The third is respect. If you want to feel respected by others, says Dr. Paul, then you need to say yes when you mean yes, and no when you mean no. The last 2 reasons are the most fascinating to me. Self-worth. She writes, we cannot feel worthy when we let ourselves down by letting others down. And lastly, personal power, which she says is the result of behaving in ways we value. So by swearing by our oaths, fulfilling our obligations, and following through on our pledges, we're actually helping ourselves. When we carry out all that has crossed our lips, we not only enrich the lives of others, we become accountable people. We become people of integrity who are trustworthy, respected, full of self-worth and personal power. These people make mistakes, but their words mean something. Their mouths and their hearts are connected. They do what they say they will do. We all have the potential to be these people. Yihiyu leratzon imrei fi. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be genuine. May we be accountable to others and to ourselves, acknowledging both our fulfilled oaths and those we are still working on. In a fast-moving world of many words coming and going at lightning speed, may we remember that what we say matters. Ken yehi ratzon. May these words be worthy of coming true.
Adonai, Zuri v'Gorali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, O Lord. Yehu leratzon imrei fi lehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai
Page 253. Even amidst the joy of Shabbat, we think of those in our lives and in our world who are in need of healing. Misha berach avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, hu yivarech et ha'cholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. As I look around the room, please share the names of those who are in your hearts who could use our prayers this evening. Thanks. Thanks.
Charles Sellen, Dot McKinney, John Mitchell, Ida Haywood, Fred Weiss, Dorothy Weiss, Sam Zucker, Thelma Sikora, Carol Johnson, Susan Popial, Fran Young, Larry Reed, and Joe Ward.
Thank you. Start in the back first, God. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Michael Lawson, Susan Boyd.
To those names and those we hold in our hearts, we add those who our congregation is thinking about this evening. Tonight we think about Sandy Archer, Carol Babcock, Susan and Joe Board, Rosalie Teddy Bono, Adele and Harold Cohen, Sally Constant, Dawn Davis, Tom Davis, Devorah Rachel, Helene Edwards, Lisa Eisenberg, Art Fields, Jay Fisk, Rabbi Bob Goodman, Henry Gordon, Mary Hartman, Barry Kaufman, Robert Kay, Bernard Katzman, David Osofsky, Laura Osofsky, Meryl Palestrant, Buddy Pollock, Ron Papel, Jean Posen, Randall Rout, Sandra Reznikoff, Alex Rosen, Jacob Schreiber, Ruthie Silver, Nicholas Sobek, Bernice Tobias, Georgia Triantafilopoulos, David Van Alstine, Ruth Van Alstine, Judy Van Gorder, Renee Weinstein, Caroline Wenck, and of course, all who are affected by acts of hate in our nation and our world. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May the soil sustain, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal renew our spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We rise in body or spirit for Aleinu on page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated. Page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This Shabbat, our congregation remembers Howard Mallow, brother of Ed, who passed away just this afternoon. During the period of Shloshim, we remember Barbara McDonald, and in the period of Yortzeit, those who have died at this season in years past, we remember Samuel Azroff, Rebecca Buckel, Jack Brody, Stephen Cantor, Ray Cohan, Raymond Cohen, Roberta Kopic, Frank D., David Dorfman, Leah Eisdorfer, Morris Evans, Alan Hammer, David Harris, Ruth Hope Leon, Raina Horner, Dorothy Kinsler, Audrey Klausner, Marilyn B. Klein, Heather Manasseh, Nathan Newman, E. Charles Oberdorfer, Alexander Resnick, Bessie Rothstein, Maurice Rubin, Nettie Sachs, Sabina Sack, Joseph Shapiro, Yetta Slavin, Ruth Slutza, Sarah Trommer, Dr. Albert Wilkinson Jr., Leo Udelson, Arthur Zetlin. If anyone else would like to share a name of someone you're remembering, please do so as I look around the room. We rise as a community for Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemeh Rabba, be'alma divrach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemeh Rabba mevarach le'olam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit halev, v'yit halal, shemeh dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite up our temple president, Miriam Greenhut, to share some announcements with us. Shabbat shalom.
Smiling. I don't know about you guys. Me too. Thank you, Felice. I agree. So we do have some announcements, but before I get to the official announcements, I would like to say hello to a few new friends we have here tonight. Everybody, you got to see Gonan light the Shabbat candles, but I just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to meet Gonan after services, say hello, and give him a proper temple welcome. Gonan started on Tuesday, and so he is actually our newest member of our new staff. So welcome, Gonan. And we also have some guests here tonight. If I leave anybody out, please know that we are thrilled you're here, and I apologize. But welcome to Reverend and Mrs. Bez. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. They are our community partners from Christ the Messiah Church. So welcome. We're thrilled you're here. Also, Rita, Brady, welcome back. Thank you. We're happy to have you as well. We also have Daniel and Margaret Myers joining us this evening. And Brian and Mia Doogie, thank you for joining us tonight. We're happy you're here. And also, I wanted to give a big thank you to Leslie Wolfson. This may be overdue, but thank you for our beautiful flowers. As always, you do wonderful work, and we appreciate your generosity. And welcome to your grandsons who are here with us tonight, too. So now for the official announcements. Torah study will begin tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, led by Rabbi Glasser. Following Torah study, Shabbat morning worship will begin at 10:30 with Rabbi Glasser and Cantor Barry. Wisdom next Tuesday at 10:30 is a self-facilitated general discussion and will be in person only. On Sunday, August 8th, we have great news. Brotherhood will bring back their first breakfast since January 2020. If I understand correctly, we are all invited. So I hope I don't get in trouble with that, but I think that's the case. Ben's Deli is also coming back this summer, so order before July 23rd to pick up your food on Sunday, July 25th from 1 to 2. And also, please show your support for Temple by placing a New Year's greeting in the yearbook by July 12th. Wish your friends and family a Happy New Year, and feel free to reach out to Ellen Burston if you have any questions about how to do that. And that's it. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm so glad you're here, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Miriam. We will conclude our festive celebration of Shabbat with Kiddush and Motzi.
Oh, thank
There
you
you
very
go.
much, Rabbi. Join me, page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav lirot avanu. V'Shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziyat mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shavat kodshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, Cantor.
It was the real stuff this time.
Well, hope it's a good vintage. And please join us in Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
We conclude on page 353.
All the way at the bottom of the page. Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'akulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'akulam. Salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. salam, shalom. Odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam shalom. Odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu, odivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.